everyone to the December 21st Bryan City Council meeting. The first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of December 7th.
I'll motion to approve, Jim.
This is Mary. I'll second.
Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
John?
Yes. Second item on the agenda is hearing of public concerns.
Nothing at this time.
Okay. Thank you. And agenda item number 3 is the clerk treasurer's report. Lori?
The council has been presented with the clerk treasurer's report for the month ending November 30th, 2020.
Anyone have any
I'll
questions?
approve, Rick.
I'll second. Judy?
Rick?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
John?
Yes. Agenda item 4 is an ordinance for transfer of funds. Lori, if you could number and read.
Ordinance number 59, 2020, an ordinance providing for the transfer of funds for the city of Bryan for the month ending December 31st, 2020. This is a transfer from the 0.5% income tax fund to the 418 Industrial Park North project fund for $24,493. It is a transfer from the 418 Industrial North project fund of $850 to the 525 Water Capital Reserve Fund, and a transfer from the 418 Industrial Park North project to the 0.5% income tax fund of $1,293.72 for a total amount of transfer requested of $26,636.72. This is all in part of the process to close out our capital project at the Industrial Park North, which, if you remember, has 2 different sources of grant funding, one from ODOT and the other coming from TID from the state and the county. The $200,000 from the state and the county isn't in yet. We're hoping to get it in before the end of the year, but this is a part of the process to start closing it down.
What happens if you don't have it in by the end of the year? Does it just roll over or show up in the next?
Yeah, I'll leave the advance on the book. So the 0.5% and the water department will have an advance still remaining out on the books if that's the case, and it'll sit in the 418. And when the money comes into the 418, then we'll have to do a repayment of the TID advance.
Okay, thank you.
There's a special process you got to do at the county to pass the budget that way, but we've done it once before. We really thought the money would be in by now, but it's obviously not.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'll move to suspend. This is Judy.
I'll second, Jim.
Judy?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Move to adopt, Rick.
This is Mary. I'll second.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes. And item number 5, another ordinance. Lori, number and read.
Ordinance number 60, 2020, an ordinance approving the conditional use in a C3 zoning district for a church or other place of your worship.
Good evening. Back on December 7th, the Planning Commission met with 5 of their 7 members present, voted unanimously to recommend the conditional use approval for the church or other place of worship at 226 South Main Street. This would be for Dad's place. They cleaned up their building code issues and are good to go now.
I'll move to suspend.
This is Mary.
Rick,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
I'll move to approve. This is Judy. This is Mary, I'll second.
Judy,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 6, an ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into contracts. Lori, if you could read the number.
Ordinance number 61, 2020, an ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into contracts on behalf of the Bryan Fire Department for mutual aid or fire protection services for 2021 to Jefferson Township.
Mayor, I know that we have other contracts. I'm sorry, Mr. Poole, I didn't see you there. There are other contracts that we have. Do those come at another time, or are they not up, or do you know?
Well, one of them is following this one, and then with Center Township, they've done a 3-year agreement, so that will be coming when it's due.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll motion to suspend, Jim.
This is Mary, I'll second.
Jim,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
I'll motion to approve. This is Judy.
I'll second. This is Rick.
Judy,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
John.
Yes. Agenda item number 7, another ordinance to enter into contracts.
Ordinance number 62, 2020, an ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into contracts on behalf of the Bryan Fire Department for mutual aid or fire protection services for 2021 to Pulaski Township.
This is Judy. I move to suspend.
I'll second, Jim.
Judy,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
I'll move to adopt, Rick.
Mary, I'll second.
Rick,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
John.
Yes. Agenda item number 8, an ordinance providing for annual appropriations for the city of Bryan. You read number and read out, right, please.
Ordinance number 63, 2020, an ordinance providing for annual appropriations for the city of Bryan for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020, and declaring an emergency. This is an appropriation request for $100,000 for the health insurance fund.
I'll motion to suspend, Jim.
This is Mary, I'll second.
Jim,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
I'll move to adopt, Rick.
I'll second Judy.
Rick,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
John.
Yes. Agenda item number 9 is a resolution providing for the repayment of an interfund cash advance.
Resolution number 39, 2020, a resolution providing for the repayment of an interfund cash advance. This is a repayment from the 418 Industrial Park North Project Fund of $42,360.84 to the 0.5% income tax fund, and a repayment of $6,866.16 from the Industrial North Project to the 502 Water Fund. Total amount of repayment requested $49,227. So again, that'll leave in the 418 fund a $200,000 grant that we're still waiting on from the state of Ohio for the TID.
I'll motion to suspend, Jim.
Mary, I'll second.
Jim,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Motion to approve. This is Mary. I'll second. This is Judy.
Mary,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
John.
Yes. Work, item number 10 is a work permit.
Tonight, I have Nightheart Enterprises LLC. This would be a storage building at 502 North Walnut Street. Siebenauer Construction will be doing the work. State construction type is 5B. Use group is S1. Cost for the project is $25,000. It is a 708 square foot storage building.
I'll motion to approve, Jim.
Sorry.
I'll second, Rick.
Jim,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Thank you.
And item number 11 is a liquor permit.
Yes, council, you have been provided a copy of a liquor permit request. This is actually not changing as far as the liquor permit goes on the location. There was an ownership change between Phil's One Stop and Jack's Corner Mart. So all they're really asking is that it get into the right owner's name, and the liquor permit is going into the store that already exists. If you don't have any issues with that, I would ask that you motion to approve so that we can waive the requirement of a local hearing for them and they can process this paperwork in Columbus.
I'll make a motion to approve. This is Mary.
I'll
I'll
second.
second,
Rick.
Jim.
Mary,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Thank you.
Then item number 12 is a status form changing to Volks Street Department.
Good evening. Tonight, I'm asking to change Gary Hussey from probationary status to regular employment status. He's completed his 1 year on December 9th and done everything that's been asked of him. He does a good job. So you approve him to regular status.
I'll motion to approve, Jim.
This is Mary. I'll second.
Jim,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Okay, and the second one is Lennox Sands. He's also at the recycling department. And his 1 year was up December 16th, but I'm asking to extend his probation another 6 months to June 16th, 2021.
I'll move to approve, Rick.
I'll second, Jim.
Rick,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Thank you.
I believe that's the end of our regular agenda. We can go around the room. I think, Wes?
Good evening, Council. Mayor asked me to give you a little background information on a project that we were asked to contribute to for the Ohio Department of Health. And what it amounts to is they are using wastewater plants around the state, and they're using raw wastewater as a sampling medium for the RNA of COVID-19 virus. And what the scientists have found is that by studying the amount of RNA in the influent water at a wastewater treatment plant, you can kind of get a snapshot of just how prevalent the bug is in the community. And what they've come up with is that if they plot it out on a graph, you can see a surge in infections coming about 3 to 10 days ahead of time. And so they contacted me right before Thanksgiving and asked if we'd be willing to provide them with samples twice a week. And, you know, of course, I said, sure, we would. There's no cost to the city of Bryan. They provide all the material, they provide shipping boxes. And so we joined in, and there does appear to be some relevant statistical data that comes from the study that they're doing. And so our local health department now is starting to receive information from us. We're the only one in Williams County at this point that I know of that is participating in the study. But again, like looking at the numbers on the graph, it does appear that it's a useful endeavor. And I had informed the mayor about it, and she thought that's something you guys would be interested in. So she asked me to come in tonight and just kind of give you a breakdown on it.
Yeah, I heard, I think I mentioned this a couple months ago. I heard that Toledo was doing that, and I think the mayor picked up, and so I appreciate the mayor and you running with that ball, and also the state contacting us. So are you getting, sounds like you and or the health department are getting stats weekly, or, I mean, who's getting it and how often of the information?
Well, what happens is they send us sample containers twice a week, and we ship them back overnight to them. We package them up, ship them back. The health department ultimately receives the data that comes from it.
Okay.
And anybody can look at the data if they like. You can go to the Ohio Department of Health, and let me get my paper out here and I'll tell you exactly how to get to it. Ohio Department of Health, and then there'll be a drop down for the COVID-19 dashboard. And once you drop that down, if you look at resources, click that, and drop down, you'll see wastewater. You can click on that. And then it's kind of an interactive website at that point. And you can look at the numbers for yourself. They have them, they're still working on the website itself, but they do have them plotted out on a graph. And you can kind of see by looking at that graph exactly how the wave that shows up of the RNA that shows up at the wastewater plant is out in front of the positive test that will be seen at the hospitals and medical facilities. And again, they're saying 3 to 10 days ahead of time. So it is like it's an early warning system for the health department, and it seems to be really handy for them.
So is the health department sharing that information then with our hospital?
Yeah,
I
actually,
would assume. I don't know.
I'm going to pop in because I know a little bit more about that than Wes does, if that's okay, Wes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not sure when this email came through this afternoon, so Wes may already have been gone, but the Ohio Department of Health actually sent Wes, Jim Watkins, and Brad Price an email regarding the Bryan wastewater treatment plant and said that it had 3 sustained samples over a 7-day period of an increase of 100-fold in the viral load. So they are anticipating that we are going to have some kind of spike in the very near future. They gave us some community things to look at, and I actually got that sent to me because Wes, I do want you to make sure you got that email when you get back in tomorrow, but Jim sent it out to a group that I am in, and it includes Sally Taylor from Parkview and Chad Tinkle from Community Hospitals, and then I forwarded that on to Activate as well so that they knew. And I'm actually going to forward this email on to you after the meeting because it does give the link right to the dashboard for the state of Ohio on wastewater, and you can click on the circle around Bryan and it will show you what our numbers are and where they're going. But I didn't want to do that before Wes was able to present to you guys the fact that we were doing it. I can tell you, I called Jim Watkins when Wes and I connected on this testing, and he was actually really happy that someone in Williams County was doing that. It should help with them predicting on staffing levels, 1 in the contact tracing arena, 2 in a hospital and medical provider arena. So even at that, it helps for them to plan. I think anybody that knows they need to work some overtime, getting a 5 to 10 day lead time is helpful. So Wes, thank you for that.
Very helpful.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Wes.
Yeah, thanks, Wes.
You're welcome.
Is there any other city employees or BPA have anything?
Hey, John, I'd just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and I hope everyone stays safe. And I'm really looking forward to working with council in 2021.
Thank you. Thank you.
So looking forward to that. Thank you.
Right back at you on all counts. Any other city employees have anything they'd like to bring up? Not, let's go with Mary.
I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and stay safe, and look forward to working with BP again next year.
Miss Judy?
First, thank you to Wes and his department for doing that, because anything you can do to help this pandemic, I'm all for it. I'll tell you, anything. Second, I'm glad to see we have a building permit in Bryan. It's always good to see things moving along in the right direction, even with this pandemic. Next, I would like to thank the engineering department for the curbside pickup that they helped get taken care of last week. I really appreciate that. And same thing, Merry Christmas to everybody. Have a safe and happy holiday.
Jim?
I just want to wish everybody a safe and Merry Christmas, and we'll see you the first of the year.
Rick?
Really don't have a whole lot to add. Wishing everyone a safe and happy holiday, and look forward to working with BPA next year, and hopefully we'll have some great things coming down the road that don't include viruses. So we'll do the best.
Lori?
No, sir. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Miss Rhonda?
I have nothing. Merry Christmas to all.
Mayor?
Yeah, I want to wish everyone a safe and healthy Christmas holiday. I do want to report that trash pickup will be a little different. Thursday, December 24th will be as scheduled and regular. Friday, December 25th will be picked up on Monday, December 28th. That will allow our street department employees to be home with their families pending any snowstorms on Christmas Day. I do want to report to council that I have been having weekly virtual meetings with some leadership throughout the county regarding the COVID crisis. And we're kind of trying to work on two different areas. One, the crisis and pandemic itself and how it's affecting our healthcare system and how we can be tools for the medical community, but also how we can promote small business and the survival of our downtowns during this pandemic. I don't know if any of you have recently shopped in our downtown, but I can tell you that the stores are pretty vacant, and I always feel kind of strange when I'm one of the only customers in the downtown area when I go in. And I know that other people, when they do, maybe we're just missing each other, but I do think that those stores are suffering. I think our restaurants are suffering. And so the foundation is going to try to kick off some kind of promotional things at the beginning of the year, as far as challenging communities to do certain things on certain nights, whether it be in a virtual format or a carry-out format. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, you know, I just want to talk about the fact I did work really hard with Terry Rummel on the county coronavirus relief fund. What we found in that was that it was a lot of paperwork, a lot of red tape, because it is federally string money. We can't avoid that even if it's locally here. We have to deal with those federal and state guidelines. And they found that it was very difficult, the process itself, and some didn't even think it was worth the $5,000. That's one of the reasons that we kind of let the county be the guinea pig on that coronavirus effort relief. I think all of us on council, I mean, I want to make sure the community knows that our council is very engaged in what's going on in our businesses. They want to help any way they can, but a lot of it is out of our control because of the strings that we get from the federal and state government. But they are, I mean, I can tell you guys call me on all different kinds of things throughout this pandemic and have talked about how can we help this and how can we help that and shoot ideas around. And I appreciate it so much. And if you ever, you know, at 2 a.m. have those thoughts, let me know, because I do the same thing. I wish there were an easy answer or a magic formula, and we'll keep trying every day to think of things. But until then, I'm just going to beg the community, you know, pop into a store once in a while and buy a few things if you can.
I'd like to thank all those that are practicing the pandemic mitigating protocols. Also want to, again, thank the frontline workers, healthcare, first responders, all the essential workers, and especially, though they are currently on break, our schools. I think the Bryan City Schools has done an outstanding job of monitoring and giving feedback and being transparent. I think they've done an excellent job and should be congratulated for all their efforts. I'd also like to just echo the Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone. And with that said, at this point, we'd like to take was it called, Mayor, a break or something to go into executive session?
Yep, just a brief recess.
Yes, we're going to go into a recess for executive session to discuss employment and personnel and acquisition of property.
And John, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask Laura.